His research still impacts psychology, education, and current theorists today. According to Rowland, who is one of my references, cognitive development is the ongoing enhancement of the following skills: information processing, memory, conception, reasoning, perception, and language. He did a lot of research with school-age children, and his research showed that school-age children's understanding was shaped by their reasoning, and that as they continue to age and mature, their level of reasoning surpasses logic, and they are able to comprehend abstract thought and ideas. And in pre-K, it's a lot of things that you can have sarcasm and different things of that nature. They don't respond to it because developmentally they're not mature enough to understand that. It goes over their heads, and that's kind of in alignment with Piaget's research. One theorist who was kind of born from Piaget's research, he kind of follows with him. They both align with each other as far as theories go, is Walter K. Let's call him Walter K. According to the Institute of Cognitive Science of University of Colorado at Boulder, he resides as a professor of psychology as well as neuroscience. Mr. Walter is recognized for the construction integration model. The model shows how construction, integration, and monitoring comprehension fuse together to produce comprehension in readers. And this is a rough copy of his model. Building the text base, which is the construction piece, building the mental model, which is the integration, and monitoring comprehension. Integrating literacy skills for a variety of learners. Model. This is something that teachers that sometimes we can take for granted, the benefits and the impact that it has on students. Whether a student is gifted, is learning with disabilities, or is an English language learner, modeling is an effective strategy when trying to build a variety of literacy skills in students. And basically, modeling is when the teacher demonstrates something for their students as opposed to giving them directions alone. And modeling, yes, it's a lot of planning that one can do to model elaborately, but a lot of the times, even just when you're reading a book and you say, I wonder why he was afraid when he went into the woods. Maybe he was afraid because there's a bear who's peeking behind the tree. That is demonstrating what mentally our mind is doing to students and helping them to understand what their brain should do when they're reading or just trying to reason alone. And now we will watch a video clip of modeling through Think Aloud.
I like to teach comprehension strategies by using Think Alouds. Think Alouds are when the teacher reads a text and draws attention to things that are going on in my mind. And things that I like to focus on are before reading strategies, so I have them posted in the classroom. So I have 2 posters that are focusing on before reading strategies. I have during reading strategies, and I have after reading strategies. And I'll introduce a text like this, which was one that we looked at the beginning of the year from our biography unit. And it's the story about Iqbal Masih, who is a child laborer from Pakistan. I'll ask the children, what's the purpose of reading the text? The purpose of reading the text is that it's part of our biography unit. What can you think about when we know that this is a biography? Well, it's going to probably be in chronological order, and something really important probably happened to this person, or this person did something really important, and that's why there's a biography about them. So the text form helps us, the purpose helps us. Text features are really important, and I'm really surprised sometimes that kids don't pay attention to them, so I try really as much as I can to draw their attention to it. So the title itself, The Story of Iqbal Masih, it's going to be his story. It's going to be his life story. And there are aspects of text and important features that are really going to help you understand what's going on in the story, so pay attention to them. It's also a good strategy to pull up previous knowledge. So is there another story that we've covered? Is there something that you know about child labor around the world that's really going to help you understand this story? A couple of the strategies that I focus on for during reading are to summarize what you've learned so far. I also like to talk to the kids about things that aren't answered in the text yet that they might be wondering about. And in order to ensure that they're understanding, get them to retell or I retell or summarize what's gone on. And if I don't understand what's gone on or something's a little bit confusing, they have to go back and reread it, because that's a really good strategy for understanding. If they come across a word that they don't know, it's something that they can't just go past it, they have to try some strategies. So one of the strategies that I encourage them to use is to see if the word has a root. If it has a root and they know what the root means, think about a prefix or a suffix and how does that affect the meaning of the root. Think about the context. Maybe that can help you. If not, go to the dictionary. Figure it out. Another during reading strategy is to evaluate and ask questions about the story. And finally, when you get to the end of the story, it's really important to get the child to reflect upon what they have learned from the story. So to summarize it in their own words, and then I know that they've understood the story, and I can articulate, when I do a think aloud, I can articulate all of these for them so they see it modeled. And that's very helpful for the students.
And back to the cancel. Okay. One moment. Thank you. All right. So as you saw, that was modeling. And those were also some strategies that she gave for comprehension. Cognitive modeling. The text goes on to explain the benefit of cognitive modeling when introducing difficult concepts or strategies. Cognitive modeling allows students to understand the inner workings of academic thought. This is described to be one of the most powerful strategies in demonstrating reasoning for students. And the video clip that we just previously watched, she kind of endeavored to explain those inner academic thought processes working. Metacognition is when the brain evaluates what has been read and comprehended through the first two steps and then decides if the produced meaning makes sense. As teachers, we must build students' metacognition skills in order to strengthen student comprehension. We're able to do this through self-questioning, predicting, confirming, clarifying, as well as summarizing. And of course, we can build lessons to encourage these different skills and strategies as well. Technology and literacy. In the elementary sector, Starfall and ABC Mouse are great literacy through technology tools for all students, but especially English language learners and learners with disabilities. In the middle school and high school sector, BYOT, which is Bring Your Own Technology, has been beneficial in different ways as it relates to bridging technology. As to bridging technology students are already using and connecting it to academic achievement. So helping students understand that their phone is good for more than selfies and Facebook, but that they can actually use it for academic purposes. According to Shane, this generation is immersed in interactive, immediate, and multimodal communication mediated through technology. As a result, many educational researchers have asserted that digital natives have different ways of expressing themselves and different learning preferences because of their immersion with ICT. So because students' brains are thinking differently due to the exposure of technology, as teachers, we have to use that same technology that they're exposed to and responding to and incorporate it into our teaching strategies. The strengths and weaknesses of the construction the cognitive constructivist approach. And anyway, a weakness is just the disparity of prior knowledge amongst students. If you have some students who come in knowing a great deal and some students who come in with not so many experiences, they're starting on different levels, and then as teachers we're having to help build prior knowledge or whatnot. I did find a article where they conducted an experiment amongst 76 sixth graders, and the experimental group, so in this there were some students who they were school ready, and there were some students who, well, reading ready, and there were some students who were not reading ready yet. They split these students up, and they begin to basically give extra help to those students who were in need of it. And the results were as follows. Hold on. In the end, it was only